Hey Charmers! Today I'm going to be showing you how to get a beautiful bronzy look for the summer using the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Contouring and Highlight Palette that we are featuring in this month's BoxyCharm Premium. So when it comes to highlighting and contouring your cheek, there are a couple of rules of thumb that make it a lot easier to do even if you are just getting started into makeup. Tip number one, when you are going to highlight and contour your cheeks, there are a few things that you should know. First, to aim where you're going to put your bronzer, you can go ahead and literally grab your cheeks and find where your cheekbone is. But another good tip is to check and see the top of your ear will kind of sort of aim downwards towards the area of the cheek that you're going to want to put your bronzer in. And the shape that you want to go for contouring your forehead, your jawline, and your cheek is just a big 3 or a big W right down the side of your face. So using the medium and the deep contour colors, because I feel like the deep has this nice warm sort of glowy look, which you can totally mix up 2 different bronzers for contouring. You can use one to contour specifically your cheeks. You can use one to contour your forehead. You can use a warmer bronzer all over to give yourself just kind of a pretty all over glow. And you can use a cooler bronzer to sort of actually get that contour, actually get those shadows. On the $1 Billion Brow Sculpting Duo brush, I'm gonna take a little bit of this medium, check out the top of my ear to kind of where it's aiming down my cheek and follow that line. Now, when you're putting it down, you want to always circular motion up so that you really get that. You wanna sort of mimic the shadow that your cheek does naturally or would do naturally. So that's kind of why you wanna aim it properly. So again, that cheekbone, find it on the jaw here. You can also use your ear, grab a little bit of the medium contour and blend, place and blend up. Something that's really flattering and important to keep in mind is making sure that you really get that forehead and where this sort of hollow on your skull naturally occurs too. It kind of just like slims down your forehead and sort of softens it. Now, another really important tip to keep in mind is getting your jawline. So you're gonna take, again, that medium contour or that deep contour, and you're going to just kind of follow your neck and jawline. And the closer you get, the more, I guess, cut you're gonna make it look. So don't be afraid to get a little bit on your face here, but definitely make sure to blend. You don't want like a sharp line and then nothing on your neck. So just kind of blend along the jawline and under the neck. So again, what I love about this palette is that you have some options for contour shades. So I'm also going to, with the same exact brush, kind of just pat it down a little bit, take a little bit of that deep contour and kind of emphasize a little bit the cheekbone, as well as sort of warm up the look a little bit. So another really important step for contouring is highlighting. So we just accentuated the shadows, the natural shadows of the face, the cheekbone, the jawline, the forehead. But now we use the opposite, which instead of using bronzer, we'll use a highlighter to accentuate and bring out the parts of the face that should be sticking out rather than sticking in. I'm just gonna grab in the palette, the medium highlight, which is right above the medium contour, again on the same brush. This is also a really important step for setting your makeup and making sure that it stays on nice and long. So I'm just gonna grab a good amount of the medium highlight and place it under the under eyes. Gives you a really pretty flawless finish and make sure that your makeup stays on all day. Then one of my favorite tricks for contouring is doing the same process on the under eye under the contour. This kind of just accentuates the jaw a little bit, the cheek, really makes it pop. So just again, grab a little bit of that medium highlight, less so than you did for the under eye. Instead of following the top part of your cheekbone, which is what you did for the contouring, you're gonna follow the bottom part of the contour that you just put down. So it'll kind of occupy like the space between the bottom part of your cheekbone and your jaw. So right around there. A lot of people bake under there to really accentuate, which is totally doable. You can totally do that too. But for a more natural look, try not to. If you're kind of getting ready for a nighttime look or you want a really dramatic contour, you could totally bake either with the medium highlight here, but use a sponge, a wet sponge, and dip it into the medium highlight shade in this palette and do the same exact process. Let it sit for about 10 minutes and then brush it off with the end of your brush. So I'm going to take the deep highlight shade from the palette here and use that as a transition shade. And I'm going to take the other end of the Sculpting Duo brush from Billion Dollar Brow and just blend that into the crease. So once you blend that deep highlight shade into the crease as a transition shade, you can go ahead and grab the deep contour, which is also the warmer of the browns in the palette. And I just like to kind of blend a little bit of that in the outer corner of the eye so as to shape my eye and kind of pull that out. So I'll probably pack a little bit into here and then kind of bring it out, not quite past my brow bone, but if you do sort of bring it away from the crease, you kind of give yourself a little bit of sort of cat eye almost effect. And it definitely is very complementary to the contour that you just put down if you do that as well. And that is it, Charmers. That is how I use the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette all over the face to get a snatched and beautiful bronzy look for the summer. I showed you along the way a couple really easy ways to intensify the look if you're going for an intense look, but that was just a really quick way to naturally get a beautiful bronze for the summer using this palette and this palette alone, along with the Sculpting Duo brush from Billion Dollar Brow. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the BoxyCharm channel. Check out our other socials, and we will see you next time. P.S. It's infused with cocoa and it smells amazing. If you need me, I'm going to be sitting here doing this the rest of the day.